Today I'm going to show you what's inside of a hybrid AC compressor and how it works. Now this hybrid AC compressor is off a 2014 Ford Fusion Hybrid, and as you can see we've got high voltage lines going inside of here because there's a power inverter. There is some communication lines going in here. AC gas is going to enter in this way and be compressed and sent out this way. Inside of here there's a giant electric motor and the compressor side. So we're going to take this whole thing apart to see how it works. And I'm going to start by removing the fasteners near the compressor side. Yeah, we'll pull this apart here. Cool. Taking a look at the compressor side, here we've got this interesting wheel. It's allowed to rotate about its axis up to a certain point, but how it really works is that it moves in an elliptical manner, just like that. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear some of that air pumping out through here. Now looking on the motor side here, you can see there's these 5 little bearings that rotate around these needles. I can remove them. And it looks like those sit inside of these seats over here on the aluminum. There's a shim over here. Now because this is rotating in an elliptical manner, there is going to be some vibration as it rotates offset from the center. So that's why we have this counterweight, which is actually splined to the offset center of this bearing. And of course behind that bearing assembly is the electric motor, and that's how it's going to rotate this assembly. So let's take this apart here. Now all of this green stuff here is dye, and that's because all of these components need to be well lubricated with this special oil for hybrid compressors. Now in the back here we have these little fingers, and these are made of spring steel, and they kind of act like valves in order to limit the amount of flow that's going inside of this chamber here, which is eventually going to go to the outlet side to go to the condenser. Now if we open this up here, okay, the bearing just popped out. So taking a look at how this works is we've got these two spirals that are nested together, and this is a rotating elliptic. So AC gas is going to enter through the outside perimeter over here, and it's going to be squeezed and forced down through this spiral to exit out the middle over here, where we've got the valves in the back that's going to take it to the outlet. Now you can see when this rotates elliptically, it starts here with a gap, then it kind of rotates around this way, the gap sort of moves around, and then the AC gases follow that spiral on the inside to exit out the bottom. I'm going to take this valve off here. Pull off this valve. This is spring steel. Then we have this shim here, which is the actual part, and this flexible shim here acts like a valve, so gas can push up against it and go out, but it can only push up a certain amount because remember we have this finger thing sitting on top of it. So now that we've seen the compressor side, let's set that aside and take apart this electric motor. We've got all the socket types in one spot here. First an 8mm, and this one is a 5-sided torque. And then these two are a poly drive. So this one knocked loose. I think I'm going to give up on that. Let's see if we can pry this off here. Alright, so this junction block can pop off where the high voltage line goes in. We've got 3 more poly fasteners on the back of this, so I'm going to try an E8. Oh wow. Looking inside the back here, the power inverter is actually integrated inside of this casing here, unlike a lot of older Toyotas that use the power inverter inside of the inverter assembly for the hybrid drive itself. This one takes directly 270 something volts from the battery, converts it to 3-phase current, which you can see is over here, to directly drive the motor, so you can control the speed of the motor and thus the amount of AC compression needed according to the HVAC demand. This here is going to be the inputs that are going to interface with the vehicle's CAN bus, and underneath this heatsink here we have the switching transistors that are going to convert that to 3-phase current. Alright, to get this board off, it's actually soldered onto these 2 pins here, so I'm going to gently remove it. Of course there's thermal paste all over me because this dissipates heat through the actual motor assembly itself, because this thing is just a giant chunk of aluminum. A couple more screws on the back. Taking a look at this power inverter, they've actually soldered everything together so we can't really get it off. If you take a peek inside of here, these are the switching transistors. These transistors, you can see there's actually 6 of them because there's 3-phase current, and that's got a thermal pad that lays down directly onto this block of aluminum. We've also got some capacitors over here, and these are the 3 terminals for phases U, V, and W, which are going to go over to the electric motor. Now if you want to learn more about how the hybrid power inverter works on this vehicle for the drive motors, make sure you check the link above where I've done a full series on this car. In essence, it's going to take direct current from these 2 terminals over here, pass it through these transistors, of course being controlled by the HVAC system through the CAN bus, and then send it out to those 3 phases to control the motor. Moving over to the electric motor side, I'm going to remove these 2 fasteners off this bracket here for the connector. Now I'm going to see if I can get this electric motor out of here. See if we can pull this out. There we we go. Here's the rotor. Now how this works is we've got the permanent magnet, which is going to rotate from the electric motor, and you can see that rotates this counterweight, and it also rotates this center hub. That offset is going to drive inside of this hub over here for the spiral in order to form the compression. Now inside of the housing, you've got these 3 wires here that lead to 3 separate sets of coils, which alternate against each other with U, V, and W phases. There's actually 18 separate coil loops inside of here, and of course, as you energize each one, it forces the rotor to turn in the correct direction according to the polarity that it generates. Now the coil is pressed in inside of there, so I'm not going to bother taking it out, but you can also see the end bearing inside of there that supports the end of this rotor at the tip here. Now the rotor itself has multiple permanent magnets inside of here, but if you look closely, the core is actually a bunch of small little steel plates that are put together and riveted on the top here. So let's take off some of those rivets. And this is why it's very useful to have a vise that's not mounted, because you could just bring it over to any work table and use it. Alright, I'm just going to try to pry this thing off here. So here you can see I've removed the top cover here, distinctly where the magnets are, forming an octagon. No, that's a pentagon. No, that's a hexagon. There's 6 sides. So there's 6 magnets in total. Just remove these little steel plates here. Ooh, that wasn't too hard. These magnets are rather small for the job that it has to do, to be honest. Now, the basis of an electric motor works with these permanent magnets. Now, just like most humans, opposites attract each other, and you can see they stick together, and when you turn it around, they repel each other. They don't want to stick to each other. Now, using that principle, whenever you put electricity through a coil, it forms a pole. So for example, let's say this is a north pole sitting on the rotor over here, and you formed a south pole by putting electricity in the correct direction through here. That pole is going to be attracted to that coil over there, and thus the rotor rotates for that magnet to attract itself to that coil. Now, you've got 5 other magnets on here and 18 other coils on here, so you can see by adding all these up, you can get a decent amount of torque and speed out of this little electric motor in order to compress the gas inside of this AC compressor. Yeah, I mainly took this apart to get the magnets out, because magnets are cool. And that's a look inside of an electric AC compressor and how it works. Mind the electronics, I think it's actually more simple and reliable than a clutch style mechanical AC compressor that always robs your engine of horsepower. If you want to see how that works, check the link above. These magnets are not safe. I just got pricked with this in my thumb trying to get these apart. Now, magnets are pretty cool, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos, just like this one. Whoa! I just snapped 3 of them in half clean.